Hey there guys, it's Cyber Ultra here to talk about a brand new Nintendo title that was just revealed. In typical Nintendo fashion, they decided to shock fans by announcing something completely out of the blue. Before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button to show your support. This channel almost has 150 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate your support in helping me reach that goal. Anyways, let's get into the news. So as some of you may know, Nintendo decided to randomly release a trailer for this new game called Game Builder Garage. Basically, it's a game that lets you develop your own games in a similar fashion to Super Mario Maker and Nintendo Labo, but more similar to the latter. On their website, it says this: "Programming made fun. Have you ever dreamed of building your own video games? The Game Builder Garage software is a great place to start. Anyone can learn the basics of game design and visual programming with step-by-step lessons created by the minds at Nintendo." They also confirmed on their website that you can share your creations with friends. It says on their website, "Exchange codes with friends to download their games and share your own." Check out the programming behind downloaded games. You can even use this feature to work with friends. That sounds really awesome, but it's also unclear whether or not you can share your games online. Considering the fact that the trailer showed that there's a way to create your own artwork for the games you make, I can imagine why Nintendo wouldn't want people to share their creations online. The target audience seems to be kids, and publicly sharing user-based content could lead to some mature things showing up on kids' television screens. I still think that with proper moderation, they could absolutely let you share your creations online, but we know that Nintendo is absolute trash at implementing online functionality, so I don't see it being likely. I'd love to see it, I just don't think Nintendo would allow for it. Anyways, I wanted to talk about my personal thoughts on the game before getting into some other news related to this game that I wanted to talk about. Personally, I think it's a really cool concept. This seems to be aimed at kids, but without the complicated aspects of building Nintendo Labo creations. Speaking of Labo, I think that this game is a direct result of what came from Labo. We know very recently, Nintendo took down the website for Labo, and some credible sources were pointing to the fact that Nintendo was phasing out Labo and making room for something else related to it. It turns out that they were absolutely correct, and this is what came out of it. They got rid of the complicated building process of Labo and just focused on the creative aspect of it with this Game Builder Garage software. The issue with Labo is that although it was aimed towards kids, lots of children had a tough time assembling the creations, and after they were built, there wasn't much to do other than play a couple small games and let the cardboard collect dust. The main draw to Labo for most people was the creativity modes in which you could utilize creations to make your own Labo games. With Game Builder Garage, they decided to just take the game development aspect and greatly expanded it. You can create your own art and share your own creations. Although it seems to be aimed at kids, this seems like a pretty fun tool for anyone interested in video games, especially considering the fact that it has step-by-step tutorials on game development from the people at Nintendo. Of course, this isn't to be confused with actual programming. Based on what we know so far, this game is more so meant to help with the creative process of game development, which seems pretty cool. Giving kids and anyone else interested in this game the chance to get their creative juices flowing is a great idea in my opinion. One more thing I wanted to mention was how the game got revealed randomly by a trailer on YouTube and Twitter instead of during a Nintendo Direct. Well, one reason for this could be because the game is coming out on June 11th, right during E3 time. I should also mention that the title costs $30 US, which is half of the typical cost of Nintendo games. Nintendo is pretty greedy with how they price games, so I'm honestly surprised that it isn't a little bit higher, but I'm not complaining. We know that a Nintendo Direct is coming next month for E3, but it makes sense why they announced this on its own. Nintendo usually saves directs for their main games and announces things like Nintendo Labo and hardware variations on its own. We can expect to see future console revisions, like a Nintendo Switch Pro, to be announced in a similar fashion. I'd highly doubt that new hardware is being revealed during a Nintendo Direct. Anyways, that's all I've got for today's video. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.